let's look at the types of ideomotor forms you can do.
Yeah.
So you can have a single finger on each hand that just raises. So you can have, first finger in your right hand is a yes, and the first finger on your left hand is a no. Now, interestingly, you learn to detect very quickly if these are conscious or unconscious.
Yeah.
Because conscious, they'll be much more smooth.
They're jilted and
jilted.
Jilted?
She jilted him.
Jilted?
Jilted is in a relationship.
Oh, that's not the right word then.
Not at all.
Well,
maybe you meant to say nitric acid.
but at least I admit it.
Yeah, but it's not okay.
They're stilted. What's the word?
Stilted, jittery.
Jittery.
Yeah, they're
shaky.
micro movements, so they'll be uncertain, and
you can't even fake it really easily.
You can, but not really well.
You get the idea, though. They're not going to be, if you install a yes and a no, they're not just going to be, okay, well, you're unconscious. I would like your unconscious. Show me the yes. And they're not going to be.
Not typically,
like
no. And you got to wait for them. They might take 30, 45 seconds, the first few. Now, so you're setting them up. And some people say, well, let them decide what they want the finger to be for their yes signal. Why on earth would you complicate your life like that?
Way too confusing.
What if they pick the ring finger on their left hand? Like, really awkward. So I say always decide for them. The reason why is you won't have to readapt with each client as to what it's going to be. Always have first finger in the right hand, yes. First finger in the left hand, no. And then you say to the person, would you show me the yes signal now? Now they're in a trance and you watch and wait. And then sure enough, you get the yes signal. And then don't make the mistake of saying, can you show me the no signal?
And they go, yes,
yes
I
signal
can.
again. Because it's coming from the unconscious. It tends to be very literal.
Yeah.
And they'll give you the yes again. So you say, please show me the no signal now. And you get no. Now, occasionally, using these two kinds of signals, people will complicate it ridiculously. I've seen people
give me the maybe.
Oh, yes,
and
no,
I don't want
maybe,
to tell you. Maybe tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Answer next week. I have to think about it. Like, it looks like they're playing frickin'
piano.
Playing a concerto or something. Tchaikovsky. Why complicate it? Have a yes and a no. The only
80-20 principle.
The one exception I make is sometimes you have the thumb.
Yeah.
And that's great because if you're setting this up to find, as we'll talk about in a minute, problems in the past and resolving them, the thumb can signify that you've ended the sequence or something.
Right.
It can be a marker. But, there's people who can't seem to produce ideomotor signals right away.
You had a method for this. Yeah.
I do have a method for it. And Derek Balmer, my mentor, gave me that task in part of my master hypnosis course because someone in the class apparently could not produce ideomotor signals. Now, there was a guy, Eric, in the class who didn't produce ideomotor signals. And we're all staring at his hands and giving them suggestions. He was a good subject, good NLP guy. And Derek said, look at his face, you idiots.
And
it was his eyes.
Twitching his eyes.
No, he looked like the Lollipop Guild. We represent the Lollipop Guild. Now, notice I didn't say the Lullaby League.
And this is weird because
I said the Lollipop Guild.
He had been instructed, you'd installed them supposedly on the fingers, but his brain just decided, I'm going to play a switcheroo game and make it the eyes.
Eric was just a little bit special. Yeah, his signals were different. So you've got to watch for what you get, but direct the person where you want the signals to be. Now, if the person cannot produce them, here's my method of producing them. You have the person imagine you're yawning.
I'm
Is
yawning.
It that
I know
boring for you. Is it that boring?
Well, not yet.
Ideomotor just said it is. Your hand moved. Yeah. So if the person is not able to produce ideomotor signals on demand, and again, you can do this in a light trance, or you'll get a trance by doing it, have the person imagine they dissociate, float above themselves and look down on themselves from above. Then when the question is asked to produce the yes signal, they imagine seeing themselves produce it, and then they consciously replicate what they unconsciously imagine.
Yeah.
So whenever the request is given for a yes or a no answer, they immediately dissociate, imagine they're looking at themselves, imagine which one rises, and then copy it consciously. Then this will automate very quickly.
Yeah.